you know how, America? That's right, you do. It's right here on YouTube, the Discussion Combustion Production YouTube channel. It's Happy Friday, America. It's Friday. TGIF. We survived another week. July is ripping by. It's going by quick, guys. So get out there, make it happen. Thanks for spending some time here with us. We're about to really kick your weekend off right, bring you all the most ridiculous articles you've heard this entire week, and then some. My name is Kevin Batstone. Getting ready to bring in my man across the table to kick off this ridiculous action. That's Arthur trying to get to that high frequency raw.
Man, we ain't even trying. There ain't no denying. If you do it daily, then it shows. You do it for a year, people will feel your flow. What's up? Name's Arthur Raw. I'm happy to get in here on this Happy Friday.
Let's go. All right, what do we have here on this July 18th in history?
Today in history, on July 18th, 1864, U.S. President Abraham Lincoln asks for 500,000 volunteers for the military service. That's a lot of troops. That's a lot of boots on the ground. Of course, we had a different way of fighting wars back then, and we would just send lines of men at each other, close range, with like these iron ball muskets. Like, how brutal. That's crazy. So going to keep moving forward here. I'm going to stay Army related. 1914, the U.S. Army Air Service first comes into being as a single corps. Not corpse, but corps.
Now we're learning.
Okay. I wrote it as corps this time. I really liked this one when I saw it. Look, if you're tuning in across the pond, you're from the UK or anywhere in Europe and you don't have AC, they've been around since 1931, air conditioning units. Okay.
Yeah.
So
they're nice.
The first air-conditioned ship, Mariposa, launches. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I got to look into this. And apparently there's like this thing out there where it's like, no, that's misconception. That's wrong. That's wrong. The first AC ship, like I'm talking sea-going vessel, was in 1930, a year prior. And the AC, they even coined it as modern AC systems.
Yeah. Central air.
We're in the most luxurious quarters of the ship and in some of the common areas and stuff. So
fancy. It's real fancy.
Real fancy. In 1930, they had this. 1930, 1931. That's almost 100 years of air conditioning.
It's probably one of the greatest inventions ever.
I mean, it is great, but it's environmentally, it has its impact. So everything's a double-sided edge, and it's always a tightrope in life.
That's fair.
And in 1944, during one of the largest conflicts of humanity, Germany, even though they did a lot of war crimes, they did also create a lot of cool technology. So in 1944, the first operational jet-powered fighter aircraft was launched successfully and flew. It's called the Messerschmitt Me-262 makes its first flight with jet engines.
How terrific.
So that's pretty amazing. And then we're going to go all the way to 1994 when an amazing song came out, Kiss from a Rose, released by Seal.
All you Seal fans out there.
This is the Grammy Record of the Year and Song of the Year, also featured in a Batman movie. Give it up to Seal.
What you know about Seal out there?
This is a great song.
So good. We can only play 30 seconds or we'll get copyright.
And that is Today in History.
Okay, great time. Great way to open the show up. All right, it's one of my favorite artists and songs of all time.
So a childhood favorite has made it into adult playgrounds.
That is correct. Yeah, so everyone knows the game Uno, draw 4. No one wanted that card. Okay, well, if you got to draw forward, you're screwed because now you got at least 5 cards in your hand. Well, now you can go to Vegas and you can play this thing. Now, here's the deal. I've done extensive research this week. As of right now, it's not going to be added in as a casino game per se, but more of an Uno social club that hits Las Vegas. So it'll be a 21 and up kind of thing. Wagering will not take place through the house casino, right? They're just introducing it as an Uno social club. No real money for gambling is allowed on this yet. But I think this is the entryway to get it into, the gambling association to where you can have house money on it. You have odds because there's got to be a way. You're like, oh, what's the, it's a plus 1,000 odds that next card's going to be a reverse or a skip, right? And then you're betting on that, which would be pretty cool. But welcome to Vegas Uno.
Yeah, so I feel like there's this whole misconception of what it is right now. And what's going to be wrong is when they make it non-physical, non-tangible, electronic.
Oh yeah, that takes the fun out of any casino game.
Yeah.
I don't like doing the bubble craps or the video poker or the video blackjack. I want a dealer.
Yeah, I mean, it just there's more there's more room for manipulation of data, and
Yeah,
I feel like you have a better
100%.
likelihood of winning if it's actual like tangible cards, tangible chips, or like whatever.
Hmm. I agree with that. But hey, for the Uno fans, you can go to Vegas and play a little bit of that now at the social club.
I mean, that does sound fun because Uno is one of those fun games. It's even good with just two people. Like, there's not
Yeah,
too many card games, but you could still have fun Uno with just two people.
I'd say 3 to 4 makes it really fun.
Always better 3 to
If you
4
want
on
to
board
maximize
games or
F1,
Mhm.
you got to go 4+.
Yeah.
4+ on Uno.
And then you start getting people knocked out. They're like sitting over there pouty in the corner.
Yeah, so I mean, look, it's fun. You can go there after you had some great eats. You drink some drinks, go play a little bit of Uno.
How much are you betting that you win your first Uno game?
I don't know if I'm going in that confidently. I'm not a
I'll
great
put
Uno
100
player.
on it. I'll put 100 on
That you're going to win the game.
it. Yeah.
I'd rather individually bet like the next card's going to be a draw 4. Boom.
See, that's like a pitch speed type of thing to me.
Yeah, but that's what I want to bet.
Yeah, I'm betting on my
I want the
capability
exact bet.
to Uno out these motherfuckers.
Uno.
Uno. You know who's the Uno. And moving on here, you did not know this.
There's farting about to happen.
And I had to research this article to see if it even existed. And I'm going to preface with this might actually be an AI article. I don't even know if this really happened or not. But it's Friday, 2025, baby. So, boyfriend's deadly farts give girlfriend brain damage. Doctors call it the strangest case ever. So, we watched a brief video on this, and I got an article summary here. So, this lady was hospitalized with hydrogen sulfide poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which can be found in methane gas. Commonly, that comes out of our ass.
yeah. So there
fart.
you go. Apparently, the boyfriend, like most people when they're sleeping, we're vulnerable, we're comfortable. Our body is working.
Doing body gas.
Yeah. So a lot of people fart in their sleep. That's absolutely normal.
It's normal.
Maybe this guy is extra gassy. Maybe he's eating a lot of T-Bizzle. He's probably doing something that made it a little bit more potent.
Oh, yeah. Like Doritos.
Or like, drinking Budweiser
Soda.
heavy.
Bud heavy.
Yeah.
Soda.
Yeah, he's like doing something to like make himself extra potent with his poison.
Body gas.
Yes. And so, look, I got to blame the girlfriend for this one though, because apparently she had a sleeping habit to where she would like to sleep with her head under the covers.
Seems like a good way to overheat.
That's complete cave mode. You're like complete embryo underneath the covers.
It's one thing to do that for a little bit, like just to warm up real quick.
Yeah, or like you're scrolling your phone in the middle of the day. You kind of like get underneath there and like the blanket holds your phone down on your chest. Have you never pulled that move?
No.
Yeah, so you lay on your back, you like put the blanket over your head, and then like the pressure of the blanket like holds the phone there, so then you could hands free.
That's ridiculous.
You've never scrolled like that?
No, I've never done that.
Well, wasn't expecting to hear that. But however, she ended up going to the ER or whatever because of this, and they lead it back to the boyfriend's flatulence.
Yeah, but they didn't come to that conclusion right away.
They couldn't absolutely pinpoint it to this, but the solution was to just use different covers.
Or don't put your head under the Dutch oven.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it is.
It was unintentional Dutch ovening, and apparently this took a couple weeks. She like woke up one night and like massive headache, and that's what like led to the paramedic call and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know too much how factual this article is, but
take it with a grain of salt.
Apparently, it took a couple weeks of Dutch ovening herself to get a massive headache and potential hydrogen sulfide poisoning. And it was because of the boyfriend's flatulence. But talking about sleeping in a bed with a partner, if you're doing this every single night, if you want your relationship to be successful, just use 2 different covers. Like we don't need to share one cover to sleep together. We're sleeping in the same bed. You have 2 different covers. You got your own sleep style. You'll never just send somebody that meme of them stealing the cover because you have your own. And that is my relationship advice tied into this article.
Hey, to each their own. Some people like sleeping with cuddled pillows. Some like doing just like like a knitted blanket and no comforter. Some people don't like the fitted sheet. Look, everyone has a sleeping preference.
My girl builds forts in her sleep.
That's
Well,
fun.
pillow forts. I'll wake up
That's
next to a
fun.
pile of pillows.
Hey, that's a good time. That's the Pow Fortress.
It's the Pow Fortress. She's somewhere in there.
She's in there. She is in there. Well, that was a terrific article about farting. Thank you for that, Art. We're going to keep it moving on to my random record. Apparently, I've been doing records about people collecting a lot of things. We had egg cups last week.
Mhm.
We got into a very long discussion about egg cups after the episode.
They're interesting,
ended.
apparently.
Hey, we learned a lot. Let's just say that about egg cups. Well, how about jigsaw puzzles, Art? Everyone likes a good puzzle. I do maybe one or two a year if I find one that I really want to do. Well, so here's the situation. We have Lisa Fireman. She's Bellevue, Washington, has 4,060 different jigsaw puzzles. That is a lot of puzzles, Art, when you
Are
consider,
they all assembled?
well, she has them, so whether they're assembled or disassembled doesn't change the record.
So did she glue them together and that's how they all stay assembled?
It's very possible. But so she took the record that was tallied in 2023 at 2022 and almost doubled it. Now, numerous of these puzzles include Disney, TV series like Friends, James Bond, Hello Kitty, the movie Wicked, all kinds of different puzzles, at least 1,000 pieces each, right? So we're talking this is a lot of pieces of puzzles.
I wonder how many puzzle pieces she's missing.
Probably 3%
You think 3%? So 300?
pieces.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Because you think if there are 1,000 pieces, possibly more, some are 5,000,
Yeah.
right? And she has 4,000 of those
So
at 1,000 pieces a piece.
plethora of pieces.
That's a plethora of pieces with potential for puzzle loss, puzzle piece loss.
My favorite kind of jigsaw puzzle are the wooden ones, and then the pieces are shaped as it's themed based on the overall puzzle. So there's this nautical one, and it had an ocean and a sky, and all the pieces in the ocean section were all fish and sharks and nautical themed stuff, and then in the sky part of it, it was all birds and different. So that was a fun puzzle to put together, and then you could also kind of oh, this is a bird, so it has to go in the sky somewhere. It was fun.
How have you ever done a 3D puzzle?
Only once or twice when I was a kid. It's been over 20 years.
Like the Empire State Building or
Yeah.
the Eiffel Tower,
Those are cool.
Statue of Liberty. I want to do a 3D puzzle.
Those are cool. No, you can't quite consider a Lego
It's kind of a 3D puzzle, but no.
because you have instructions.
Well, you don't have instructions with the puzzle.
Well, you kind of do because you have the finished result. You have the picture reference.
Yeah, but that's not really instructions. You're just referencing what it should look like.
I guess we would have to define.
That's like saying if you
instructions.
took a Lego and you're like, well, it's going to look like this McLaren when I'm done, but I don't know how I'm going to get there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That does make sense.
There's a little bit more of a roadmap.
Yeah. So we're saying that puzzles do not come with instructions, but Legos do.
And I'm glad they do because some of those Legos are pretty intense.
They
And
are.
even with the directions, it takes me a day and a half
I know.
on
it's
some of
fun.
those 1,500 pieces. We're due for another one of those, by the way. So, hey, she's doing fun things with this collection, doing some amazing things. And that's my random record of the week, Art.
Nice.
We're going to keep it moving over to the Would You Rather. And before we do that, we got to check in with last week's results.
Okay. You had a weird would you rather last week
Do you remember it?
because you reminded me before the show. But it was, would you rather have parking when you get home, or would you rather have to take your trash to the landfill, not have garbage service pickup? We both chose to have parking because the frequency on which we park compared to take out trash. How did America go?
America is going unanimous with Art and I.
Yeah.
People want guaranteed parking.
Let's
They're not
go.
afraid to have to take their trash to the dump. I do think that when more people started to get into that and realize, shit, I got to go to the dump every week,
Mm-hmm.
and they realize how much of a nuisance that is,
Yeah.
they might rethink that.
When you're reeking out your stuff, what if you ate fish? What if you're like our boy Y Bizzle and all you're eating is fish, and then you got to take that to the dump?
Fish?
Yeah.
That stinks,
Yeah.
especially when it gets hot outside.
100%.
You ever been following a dump truck when it's super hot out?
Yes.
It reeks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's last week's Would You Rather. Thanks for everyone over there. That's our Twitter X at Happy Fry is where you can take the polls, or you can just drop us a comment down below in the YouTube here. Art, what do we have this week for Would You Rather?
I'm sorry for this one, America. Would you rather accidentally drink someone's chewing tobacco spit can.
I've done that.
Like, everyone got Coca-Colas or their beers out. One of them's a spit can, and you go in for a sip. I've done that too. Or have somebody accidentally sneeze directly into your face.
I think I've had both happen. Well, I know I've drank out of a spit can. It was my own, in fact. I drank my own chew beer many, many years ago when I was chewing tobacco
How
all the
big
time.
of a chug did you have?
Pretty good swallow.
It was like you were prepared for it to be beer, like you were ready to like take that.
I had a pretty good buzz going.
And
I'm like, let me finish that off. And it was just pure chewing tobacco, which is not ideal. So I have had that. Someone sneezing in my face, like with your mouth open.
I didn't go that deep into like the rules.
Because it could get pretty ugly.
I mean, maybe your mouth is open. So if it was my significant other, I would rather have her sneeze in my face.
Yeah, but see, now it's getting all up too specific.
So it has to be a stranger.
You're sitting on a plane. You're
a stranger.
Plane, train, automobile, and some guy's like, ugh, and fucking just rips a sneeze right in your face.
Yeah, and he has sweat stains on his shirt.
Or you're going to drink some fucking redneck fat-ass chew beer or whatever he's spitting into it, chew soda, chew whatever. And you're taking a big old swig of that. This sucks. Why did you have to come up with this?
I don't know. I'm kind of torn now. Which one? I think I'm just gonna do what I already did, and that way I could say it's done. I'm gonna go with the drinking tobacco because who knows?
It's pretty gross, though.
Could you get like STDs from someone sneezing in your face if they like had an outbreak or something and they sneezed on you? Could you contract something?
You could definitely contract if someone's chew spit. I mean, if they got something and they're leaking out debris out of their face and then spitting it into their can. Yeah, I think either way you could get something.
Okay, I'm gonna take
the chew beer.
My significant other sneezing in my face because of allergies.
That's the easy way out. That's the easy way out. I mean, I'll take the chew beer because I've done it, or the chew drink, whatever the hell he's spitting it into. I don't want to do that.
No.
I wonder where
you don't have to swallow it.
See, that's a big difference.
You don't have to swallow it.
I swallowed it and I threw up.
Yeah.
Vomited.
Yeah.
Immediately.
I'm just thinking like which one would have the worst long-term effects.
Probably the chew beer.
You think?
Yeah, but if you can spit it out, then you're 100% chew beer.
All right, we're both going chew beer on this.
It's rough, though. America, let us know. Are you getting sneezed in the face by some weirdo with his red chest hair hanging out of his head? Or are you going with the chew beer from the redneck guy? Let us know.
Sorry, America, for that. And we're jumping into a high-speed train.
Yes. So
high-speed.
While you're on the train here, there is a Florida man, surprisingly, Florida man, who is our first official contestant for Dumbass of the Week. And here we go. So a Florida man, a 57-year-old, was trying to celebrate his birthday. Shortly after the 4th of July, he got down onto the Conch Tour train in Key West, Florida, completely bombed out of his mind on methamphetamines. He proceeded to take this train down like he was the landmark master, picking up people along the way. Come on, get on, let's go. We're going riding on the train. And these people are all excited. They're like, yeah. And then finally he gets to one of the stops and just abandons the train and runs off while police chased him down.
At what point? And so I had this question. You answered it for me. He was a previous employee of this tour. So that's how he knew where to pick up people and like all that stuff.
Yep. Exactly.
So at what point were the police alerted that it was stolen? Like, how did he steal it? Was there actually a driver that he hijacked it from?
Yeah, basically he hijacked it from this guy. So that's where it started. The people were like, oh shit, someone's driving that train that shouldn't be. So upon arrest, a meth pipe was found in his pocket. That's how we knew that meth was involved heavily. He was charged with burglary, grand theft auto, and possession of drug paraphernalia. 57-year-old Florida man, dumbass of the week. I don't have his name. Or do I have his name? Jonathan Winslow.
Mr. Winslow.
Jonathan Winslow, you are contestant number 1 for Dumbass of the Week, and shocking that it comes in Florida.
Man, this guy was just high on his birthday and wanted to relive the glory days, taking people, seeing the sights, you know?
Yeah, I mean...
It's kind of like...
It's illegal.
It's a very dangerous crime, but amongst all the crimes one could commit, I would say it's kind of innocent. It's a little innocent.
To get high on meth, steal a train, and pick passengers up, you don't think that's a bit of a threat to society?
No, but it's like if we were gonna rate it from G to R, I'm gonna give this a PG rating.
Parental guidance only?
Yeah,
it's got to go at least PG-13 because of the drugs.
Okay, all right, fine. We could go PG-13 on the drugs because of this one.
Meth.
Never once. I've
Not
never
even
tried.
once. No,
I've
hell no.
never
Fuck
tried
that.
it. Another thing that I haven't tried is dressing up like Mario Kart characters and go-kart racing in Japan.
I could see us doing that.
Dude, that's going to be so much fun when we do it, but the go-karts might not be there anymore because we have a very perturbed, irked man that is sick of hearing these go-karts while he's working and lit him on fire.
Look, I understand this man's frustration about noises, but you can't act this way.
So I didn't know until I read it. I was like, is this near his house? Like, can he not sleep? Can he not afford a loud fan? Like, can you just not get some white noise going on? Get some headphones going on. Why can't you just ignore the noise? But apparently, this 28-year-old Japanese man could ignore the noise no longer. He allegedly set fire to these go-karts and also some of the buildings as well. Luckily, no one was injured during this arson attempt. And apparently he's been like losing his patience and even wrote a letter threatening the go-kart agency to do not start those engines again.
How loud are these things?
I mean, there's like a video and stuff in there. They're probably like
Not that loud.
the K1, but not electric.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so they're like, that's how they look.
Yeah.
So probably a really fun time and like dressing up like Mario characters and Tokyo and go-kart racing. I mean, that sounds like a fun time for anybody.
Schmeen would love that.
Yeah, but this guy, he was so sick of it. I wonder what kind of work stress he was under in order to take it out on people having fun in go-karts.
Sets arson to the business.
Sets arson to the business, and police are still investigating the link between the letter and the arson attack. But, you know, it was in May, so he gave that 2 more months, and he just lost it. I bet you he got put on some projects he didn't want to and overran by a boss, and then he was like, I'm taking it out on these go-karts.
Or maybe he was just so mad because he couldn't go get to drive the go-karts. He's like, you guys are having fun without me? No one has fun now.
I know. And on those things, like, it'd be cool if they had like blue shells or like something kind of like that you could like shoot it at somebody. It's like a digital thing, and then it like stalls their engine a little bit, and then they can go again.
Or like the banana peel, it just kind of like spins them around real quick.
Yeah, or I mean that's kind of dangerous. So it look like have to like slow down their vehicles somehow digitally.
That sounds like a cool idea.
I bet you that's not in there, but if you're listening, I got you.
Yeah, well, because the red shell, you know, pretty much is locked on. You're going to hit somebody.
Yeah.
The green one though, you got to have aim.
Yeah, so you like there's like the question mark things, and there's those points you'd have to drive over that on the track. It would digitally register, and then like you would have that weapon, and then you could like hit a button on the steering wheel to shoot it.
That's a pretty badass idea.
And it would just like stutter their engine, like it would digitally, like you know how in laser tag, how it like you get vibrated when you get hit.
Yes.
So I don't know. I know I'm going off there. I'm just kind of thinking, but it's a lot of fun, and we got Ass in the Grass coming up next.
All right, this might be the most ridiculous article of the show. That's why it's my closing article. Chimpanzees are fascinating. We've talked about furry friends and animal life on this show a lot, and look, we know chimps are pretty smart. They're very, very intellectual beings. They have very unique social patterns. I think we did an article where they were doing peeing together and, you know,
Eating fermented fruit.
Well, I think those were monkeys, but
I mean, it's an ape. Is a chimpanzee an ape or a monkey?
it's an ape, but it's a type of ape. Like this, we're not talking about gorillas here. We're talking about chimpanzees. And so, one of the new fashion trends that started, they said a trend started around 2010 because, again, they're smart. Apparently, there was a chimp named Julie, and she started sticking grass in her ear, like sticking out, and it became like a fashion statement.
Okay.
Amongst the chimpanzee community. And this specifically was done here at an orphanage. Where at? In Zambia. This is where this data was recorded. And so as the years went on, this grass became like a cool thing, kind of like keychains and necklaces and like jewelry. Yeah. That would be comparison to like the way that they're looking at this from a fashion thing. And so now they've gone so far to start putting grass in their ass as well as sticks in their hole as well. So making it like a fashion thing, like check out this grass in my ass. And they're like walking around with it all proud. And then the others are seeing it and like, well, I need grass in my ass now. I want to be cool. And so it's created this whole thing. It's not about hygiene. It's not about food. It's simply a form of social signaling amongst the chimps.
Well, that is pretty interesting. I mean, they're making grass fashionable.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of other studies on chimps and how they are the most human of any other animal.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, because of how violent they are to each other,
They get nasty.
humans and chimpanzees inflict more damage on their own species than other species do to them.
Correct.
And we're the only two.
Chimps and humans.
Yeah, we're the only two that do that.
Yeah, they're nasty to each other. Like I've seen the mama chimp to the baby chimp throw it right out of the tree. You don't learn. Just throws it right out of the tree. Things like down there hurting, and the mom goes down there and smacks it in the face.
Damn.
You know, they're pretty brutal.
That's rough love. But so this fashion accessory of grass
In the ass.
was in an orphanage though. So this is not wild behavior. This is like chimps that are somewhat in domesticated areas, I guess.
In like a wildlife sanctuary reserve area here in Zambia. But still, it's interesting to study how their behavior evolves because you would have to imagine that there's similar things like this happening in the wild.
Well, you would think, but it goes to show you once other needs are met, where the mind goes. And it goes into a layer of creativity, just like humans, how we like want to make music or do some art or like make a podcast.
Yeah, dance, perform.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is, like an attention thing.
Yeah.
The chimps are trying to start a fashion trend, and it signals like a social, like, look at my grass and my ass.
So I'm actually going to say, that this is like a peek into the past to where the early humans first discovered clothes.
Pretty similar, probably, yeah.
Like maybe it's like kind of a peek into the past.
Yeah, because they just let it all hang out. When you think about most of the other species, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Ball sacks hanging out, that's just what they do. They don't think about covering it up. Maybe this is the early introduction to basic clothing.
Like fashion.
Yeah. Check out my grass and my ass. It's like, oh yeah, you think that's cool? Check out this twig.
I wonder if it's like, if there's a specific blade of grass that gets extra attention. And if so, like,
you gotta have a flower poking out, I think.
They need to like be planting these seeds in that orphanage. They need to be growing this.
Growing the grass?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Let's encourage this behavior.
Yeah, scroll down, take a look at this article. There's some photographs of it, of old Julie here, I believe her name was, who started this fashion trend before her Juma, one of her chimp friends, started the new twist by placing grass inside of his rectum.
Whoa.
So pretty fun stuff there. Great way to close it out into the weekend. Get you thinking about what you want to put in your ass or not.
I will pad my ass with. Actually, I've been thinking about getting a bidet, but that's a whole nother conversation. Stuff to do this weekend.
Yeah. Speaking of things going on in the ass, I'm taking Pops to get his colonoscopy today.
Okay.
So we got to get Dad healthy and ready to go there. So that's one thing I'll be doing today, Art, while we're on the topic of things going in the ass.
That's a great segue. I just might go see that new Superman movie. I think it's been like a week it's been out.
I heard it was good.
Yeah, I think I might go see that.
I think that's a good move. I think that could be fun. Make your favorite meal at home. Like you go out to eat this meal, whatever that is. Maybe it's steak and potatoes. Maybe it's pasta. Make that at the house. Go to the grocery store, get all the ingredients, cook your own meal. Get it that high vibration, high frequency meal, Art, with all the fixings involved. Let's go asparagus. Let's go broccoli. Let's go with the good shit. Make a great meal this weekend.
I like that. And with all the energy you're going to have from that meal, get out and go to an event. I'm talking music. I'm talking a Renaissance festival, maybe a doggy get together. Like there's all sorts of events happening out there and we got to get outside. And I believe that if you could even just get outside for like 2 to 3 hours, go mix and mingle for a little bit. And when you come back home, you're going to really appreciate your space more. You're going to feel less anxious. So that's what I suggest people do.
I like it. That's pretty good. And you could also carry that same energy if you're in the Delaware area over to Dover. We are back on the ovals. The road courses have been kind of wild these past few weeks. We're back on the oval. The Monster Mile, the Concrete Beast is this weekend in Dover. Both the Xfinity Series and NASCAR Cup Series are there. We'll be back Monday night on this YouTube channel, Mash the Gas, to break down all of the action. Until then, y'all. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. Check us out on all the socials. You know where to find us. Thank you for your support. Let's go.